Which Protoss player is going to be as we go in game and we introduce our players. The bottom right hand side from Team Liquid is going to be our red Protoss player. Let's hear it, guys. If you're cheering on MaNa. To the upper left, our blue Protoss player from Cascade. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Strange. What's up, Remliff? How you doing today? Thanks for dropping by. Welcome back. How's everyone doing in the chat? Hope you're all doing well. Cerilius, how you doing? Kroak, Billy Nasty. What's up, guys? How you guys feeling? You enjoying the game so far? Enjoying the day? We've had some great StarCraft content on all day long today. We had the Leifeng Cup earlier. Here we are now with DreamHack Qualifiers. It's been a great one. It has been a great one. Why buy a 6-inch sub when you can sub to Wardy for a whole month? That's funny that you can actually subscribe with a Subway card. That's really crazy. So I see two eyed dogs in the chat, but what's up, Vitamin? How you doing today, buddy? My man. You're doing good. Alright, we're setting up into this PvP, and it has been double gas, double gate openings from both players to begin with. Obviously, two main ways you can play this out. Either going to be a couple of adepts to go and try and hit the mineral lines, a couple of stalkers just to really hold the map control and pressure the front and pressure out on the map as well. So either or from either of these players, and I mean, this double gate has been kind of a very standard way to basically play out the early game of PvP. When we see what which way in which both of these guys are going to try and attempt to go, we'll have a bit of a better idea to sort of see how this is going to end up, I guess. As we have the probe just nibbling away a little bit here and there. A couple of adepts starting up from MaNa. And Strange starting up a couple of stalkers. So there's two different openings there, right there. So Strange is probably going to be looking to, probably with these couple of stalkers on the way out, he's probably going to be looking to try and head in towards, kind of, again, just pressuring towards the front, kind of holding map control, maybe a Twilight Council and a Blink-based follow-up. So to the bottom right, I mean, MaNa, he's going for a couple of depths, and he's going to drop a Stargate behind us, which is the most common way to kind of follow up a couple of adepts. Is basically like, hey, can I force you to make, spend photon overcharges on my adepts? Yes. If I can do that, what's a really good follow-up? An Oracle. So, MaNa gonna get a couple of adepts out, harass, maybe get a few worker kills. Maybe he doesn't, but maybe he forces some overcharges. He's gonna follow up with the Oracle here very soon as well. And we also have the, from Strange, he's just gonna keep on building Stalkers. As we're currently just watching these two adepts kind of come across the map. The Strange will expand. MaNa should be expanding shortly, but because he's got a Stargate down, it's gonna take him just a little while longer. So, Stargate going to be finishing up. You're going to see that Oracle on the way out. A couple of these adepts shading on up to the high ground, having a look to see what's going on. They don't really find too much over here, though. As these couple of adepts going to try and shade away as well. One of these adepts going to turn and going to fight as just wants to get some damage done. May as well. They both get away alive, so no real damage done here by MaNa. Never even makes it to his opponent's base. So gets turned around quite early on. Begins to pop down that Nexus. Of course, if he doesn't get any damage done with this Oracle, and he will find himself falling a little bit behind because, I mean, the Adepts aren't... Well, I mean, okay, even without the Adept Stalkers, I mean, he's just got a later Nexus, right? And with a later Nexus, well, boom, all of a sudden, if you've got a later Nexus, you are not going to be making two probes at a time as quickly as your opponent. So when it comes across, he does see that Oracle, and so does Strange actually clicking on it as he flies on by. The Oracle just going to be flying on in. I'm just going to be looking to see what it can get up to. Natural expansion has nothing here though, so Oracle just going to chill out for now. Not going to dive for the main. And to be fair, look at this setup. Two pylons, multiple stalkers. He's not going to have a good time if he goes for the main base. Railway is up for Strange. Observer on the way for now is these couple of adepts just trying to... Well, they force an overcharge, that's about it. Twilight Council is here as well, so Strange is ready to go in towards Blink upgrade, I imagine. And especially with his Stalker count, Blink would make a lot of sense. And maybe that transitions him into a Blink Stalker Disruptor sort of composition here, or something along those lines. You can see the Oracle. Ooh. One kill, but has to go away immediately from the Stalkers and Sentries. Does not want to die off over here. As we'll see there. Oracle just pulling back a little bit, because you can see probes just being kind of boosted out of the Nexus, and Whip's MaNa just not quite right here on the natural. So his probe just going to say, as I was clicking, I was like, MaNa doesn't have his Nexus rallied. And then, I was like, where is he rallying them probes? And then it's like, oh, they keep popping out and just sitting here. MaNa will notice that in a second, I'm sure, and fix it. And get them workers, well, working away. I think that was actually the Oracle just going down here. Yeah, Revelation goes down but loses the Oracle, so MaNa not really gaining a lot with this, and even kind of in terms of map control, just gets a Revelation for now, but not for too long. You see this Hallucinated Phoenix going to be taken down. Mortals on the way up. Again, it's the blink, though, that from Strange that I really like here. It feels as though blink opens are just more or less the best thing you can... It's one of the strongest ways to play out PvP, especially if you're good. Because you move across the map with Blink Stalkers, you have a getaway. There's no way anyone, you try, if at any point you need to get away, you've got to get away. If you've got to get away, you're sorted. So, Blink Stalker is really nice to have, and you can apply pressure, you can look for opportunities. You get so much by having the map control, and also just being out in the middle of the map with your army. Third, next is going to be coming down from Strange, doing a C+1 on the way up for Strange as well. So Forge, just about halfway done with that +1 upgrade, so that's coming in here. There's a Robo Facility popping out an Immortal. I'm just going to see the Hallucinated Phoenix going to be coming across for Strange as well. Just going to be coming across and having a little bit of a scout, a little bit of a look to see what is going on in the main. So Phoenix comes on in, just having a pop around. Sees a few workers over here, and can just be moving away now as well. So Phoenix just having a look to see what's happening, and he will go down. Again, it's just a hallucination, so not too much of an issue. As MaNa building up a bunch more gates, no upgrade for him, no third base. Okay, there's a third base. But MaNa just building up everything so much later than Strange is, and I wonder if he's just looking to try and push and kind of attack his opponent more so than kind of really kind of just go kind of into the mid game. That's what I was thinking before I saw the third, but now there's a third, I guess it doesn't make sense for him to be waiting to, to be kind of just looking for a big attack. So I'm not really 100% certain. Right now, the army forward Strange is very far out of position, though. 3 Immortals, 3 Sentries, 2 Stalkers. How much damage can this get done at this third base before Strange responds? Well, now they're going to move in here and going to start working his way against this. It's going to do a lot of damage. And, well, Strange, what is there? Ooh, a couple of Force Fields coming down. Stalkers need to be careful. There's a Mothership Core here as well, so he can recall. He's going to kill the third. Wow. MaNa, with not even an army supply advantage, just comes in, kills the third, his opponent's out of position, boom. And just like that, MaNa ends up with a faster third base, although still down a +1 upgrade. So that's something we've got to keep in mind here over the next few minutes while we kind of watch this game develop, that MaNa is playing catch-up in terms of the upgrades. Stalkers joining together, Immortals joining together, Sentries here in this army as well. We've got a Probe going to the right-hand side from Strange. We've got Stalkers and Immortals and Sentries out here in the centre. Another pylon finishing up. Temple Archives will be finishing soon from MaNa as well. As we see, what was that? I think just hallucination. There's woohoo! Tie Templar again warped in there. And we're going to see a triple Archon being morphed on in. Again, MaNa just kind of good moves so far, but still feels as though everything he's doing is just a little bit later than his opponent. I mean, there's that Forge coming down now, and I mean, I guess we can't even really say a little later than his opponent in this regard, because let's be kind of, shall we just be realistic, right? I mean, you start on your Forge when your opponent's going to have... I mean, his Forge is going to finish when +2 is finishing for his opponent, right? I mean, more or less, 20 to 10 seconds, 30 seconds, basically the same. He is so far behind on the upgrades here. Now he is the one moving out, and he is doing some damage with these Stalkers. And again, I love this with Blink Stalkers, because there's always potential to kind of do this sort of thing and then blink away if you're in trouble. However, he's getting so much done because Strange is down the right-hand side of the map, and, well, with the upgrade lead, there's a lot of potential for him to get damage done here. Disruptor is not being used at all. Obviously, it's just a hallucination. As we're going to see, MaNa is in... Well, he's in the lead. I didn't really understand. Of course, he's missing a lot of Stalkers in this fight, so that lead might not transpire, and he's missing upgrades too. And so that lead and supply is very quickly disappearing here. His Mothership Core is going to go down. His Potent Overcharge is available on this natural. It now fades away. Stalkers blinking in from Strange, and now MaNa Stalker is going to come in here as well. They were just so far out of position. Did they do enough on the other side of the map to justify not being here for long enough? The answer is no. MaNa types out GG, and Strange is going to take the first game of this best of 3 series. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Team Liquid just falling apart here today, right? The upper right-hand side. Our Red Pros player from Team Liquid, let's hear it. If you're cheering on, MaNa. Down to the bottom right. It is going to be Cascades. Strange up 1 game in this best of 3. I kind of look at this, I just think, where did MaNa really fall behind? I mean, he just didn't start his Twilight Council early, so his Blink was a bit behind. That didn't really matter. He never started a Forge. and he just never started at third base for a long time. He ended up kind of getting an advantage in his third base timing eventually, but he was still just behind those upgrades. Being behind those upgrades for so long, I mean, he didn't have Archons. I'm just not sure what really slowed MaNa down so much, you know? It was really like... We really kind of just, yeah, I don't know, like, he just seemed to be slow on building everything, and maybe if we looked back at the replay, we'd say, oh, right, he was building more units or something, but something like we just didn't pick up on during the game. But yeah, it was really weird. Really strange. You'll see a couple of gates on the way up from both players. We have got vertical spawns here on Invaders, so the more aggressive spawning locations, so double gate based openings will be definitely potent and definitely probably the correct choices rather than fast expands. Just extra safety, you know. Pretty standard extra safety sort of thing. As we get set to go into game number 2. I've just realised we don't have the title correct on the stream, so let me just fix that quickly. Again, thank you everyone for joining us here on the stream today, guys. I know a lot of people will be watching kind of muted as they watch multiple streams, but thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, 400 viewers for WCS Qualifier when Base Trader also streaming at the same time is actually very good for us, if I'm not mistaken. Usually when we cast like something, whenever we cast any sort of qualifier that Base Trader also casting at the same time, we usually end up with like, you know, like 200-ish, that sort of viewership. So 400 is really crazy. So thanks all for joining us, and of course thanks all the regulars who are chatting away in the chat. Always nice. It's really crazy. I mean, it's really just awesome to just see the stream just genuinely growing, you know, just genuinely just seeing kind of a solid fan, like a solid viewership base kind of building up, and like a loyal viewer base as well, I guess. You know, people who are here like, you know, more or less every day, more or less, right? You know, that sort of thing. It's really cool to see it build up, because I know for a fact I can think back to a time fairly recently where it wasn't this strong a viewership and wasn't that strong of a you know, it wasn't like a how do I want to say it, like it just wasn't that strong a it wasn't that kind of a solid fan base. Like we've always had like a core fan, you know, core viewer base, I guess, but it has never been as strong as this. As we set up into game number 2, just waiting to see what's happening. Nothing really going on. Both players expanding with some stalkers out. Let's see the first tech coming down from MaNa is going to be a Robo Facility. We wait to see what the tech from Strange will be. Robo Facility as well. So both players going Robo, double sentry on the way from both as well. And going up. Can I tell you the brand? If I told you the brand, then you would be probably surely able to guess what the mouse it is, because there's not going to be very many mice to pick from if you know the brand. I should autograph my old mouse and raffle it away for wardy points. I could do, if you guys actually wanted my old mouse. It's a bit manky. I haven't had this mouse for too long, but I really haven't enjoyed using it. I haven't enjoyed using it at all, so I'm very happy to move on. It's not a Logitech M705. It's not Corsair Scimitar. I honestly don't think. I honestly don't think it's gonna be anything like that. When I play Disruptor versus Blink Charge Lot, you need a turtle. Of course you do, but well, you know, I don't know what you're trying to refer to, Qualifiers. I don't know what you're trying to say by saying that. Like neither player was playing Disruptors, so I don't know what you're talking about at all. I'm just gonna straight up and say it. No, neither player was playing with Disruptors. MaNa was going Charge Lot as well. Like, he didn't have Disruptors on the way at all. He was going Immortals and Blink Stalkers. He had a hallucinated Disruptor, but that was it. He's even building Charge. I'm pretty sure he's going Immortal, Charge Lot, Archon as well. As you set up into this game, I mean, we just sort of been talking to the chat. I mean, nothing really exciting has been happening. We saw the Robo coming down. Both players now going Blink. Again, Strange just with his faster Forge. MaNa gonna add on his Forge a lot faster this time around. See, this time around, it's like, this time around, it's like, MaNa's doing the same things as his opponent and the same things as last time. He's just doing them a little bit faster. He's like a little bit more on point with this. So a little bit strange, a little bit different. There's a hidden base to the bottom left from Strange. Now that's going to be interesting. So yeah, just going to see the Nexus on the way up, and we're going to see this panel coming down. It's a bit of a hidden third. Can obviously throw MaNa if he's scouting, doesn't see a third base. Might trick him for a while. I mean, eventually he'll figure out there's a base hidden on the map. But for a while, it might make him think he's not in as good a position as he really is. It might make him think he's in a better position than he actually is, and so that can be problematic, of course. Is MaNa actually looking to get aggressive towards the front? I mean, there's not really much you can do here. Both players have the same upgrades and stuff right now. The +1 is even a little bit faster for Strange, so realistically MaNa needs to be very careful attacking into this sort of position. Needs to be very careful right now. So you're going to see this rock's taken down. I'm just going to be pulling over to the right hand side, Never Immortal coming down. Just joining up here. MaNa going to start his fed base just in the right, just in the normal location, so he's just going to set that up over here. And just kind of back away for now. And well, there's 1+1 on the way up. Charge is on the way as well for MaNa, for Strange now, something which MaNa is not going into. And +2 starts for him as well. So that's slightly earlier forward still coming into play, but again, nowhere near deficit. There's nowhere near the deficit there was in the last game, which was really a monumental difference between upgrade timings and more. Temple Archives is on the way for Strange. So Temple Archives on the way up, and it's going to be seeing that coming into play, and Stalker's just joining for MaNa once again. Still waiting to see, I mean, what's MaNa's next tech going to be? Is it going to be the Temple Archives? Does he drop a Robo Bay? Just going to see Immortal just getting lifted and transferred over to the third base here by the Warp Prism. Is MaNa going to try and attack again? Well, potentially. How many gateways is he on? He's up on 6 against 5. I mean, it's not too many more gateways. Actually, Strange going up to 8 gates in total. MaNa looking as though he wants to try and get a bit aggressive here. Strange going to take his, now his 4th base essentially because of this base over to the left hand side. So we're going to be taking his 4th base, but MaNa not even going to look for that. He's just going to go straight towards the natural expansion. A few more High Temple, well, a few High Temple again walked in here. MaNa going to his own Temple Archives now as well. He'll blink in, and again, this is the sort of point where Strange is, well, going to lose that base, and it doesn't really matter because he's got another base, but maybe MaNa thinks that this is kind of a big, a big play because he's kicking down the third. He thinks there's no third base still. As the Stalker's just chilling out over to the right-hand side, going to be moving forwards, and just going to be pushing back this army. So a couple more force fields coming down, and the Stalker's going to be pulling back. So that's going to go down too. And these couple of pounds took a lot of damage, but might not want to fight into double 4 and overcharge if he doesn't have to. As you can see, a couple more High Templar being warped in, and some more Archons just going to be added for MaNa. So MaNa actually got a lot of army supply here in comparison to Strange, and it's another one of these games where nothing's really happened, just all of a sudden MaNa's really far, well, I mean, like last time nothing happened and MaNa just was behind and everything. This time nothing's really happened and MaNa is just straight up ahead. He's actually found that base to the bottom left now as well, so you can send a few units there to deal with that. As we're going to see, MaNa just taking this engagement right now though, so he's got to kind of focus on this. A couple of mortals kind of blocked away by those force fields, really good force fields by MaNa, and again, he just has way too much right now. Blinking back his few Stalkers at a time when needed, just get them away. The Archon's full, and this should just be game right now actually. MaNa going to tie up the series to 1 game apiece, and we're going to be going into a third and final game here in this series. So we're going to head on in game, ready to introduce our players. Tied up 1 game apiece to the bottom right hand side. It's our red Protoss player from Team Liquid. Guys, that's here if you're cheering on MaNa. Down to the bottom left from Cascade, our blue Protoss player. Let's hear it, guys, if you're cheering on Strange. Win this, you only got to beat Daishi to qualify for the Spring Championships. $1,500 already in your pocket, basically. I mean, basically anyone who qualifies from this tournament gets a $1,500 because that's the round of 32 prize at the Spring Championship. And of course, you get to play a best of 5 to more than double your money to 4K for making round of 16. So let's see how this is going to go on. Proxy, the kind of proxy third base, the hidden third base from Strange last game didn't really pay off for him in the end. Again, I'm not really sure where it went wrong for this. I mean, it seems as though MaNa that time was more on point and got his things, his upgrades going at better timings. and just sort of just in the end just had more stuff in time to fight against Strange. So I'm not sure as we get set up into our third game. Oh, this best of 3, and once again just double gate based opening from both. So pretty much the same old PvP sort of opening. 2 gates are better than 1 gate for the most part, and you can still expand quickly and just sort of go from there. Probably just going to be pulling along over to the left hand side. I'm just going to be kind of having a look around to see what is happening, what is going on, of course, looking to see, just, you know, confirm it is a 2 gate based opening. And when he sees this, I mean, okay. I mean, from here, he can stick around the probe for a while, he can send it straight back home. And he might try and see what sort of tech comes down straight away. In general, I think he's probably just going to send it back home. Not really too much, as we see the probe just being a little bit of a nuisance, being a little bit annoying. And, well, Mothership Core starts up in both players as well. It is once again MaNa going into the 2 Adepts. So back into what he did in game number 1, which was when he opened with 2 Adepts, whereas his opponent opened double Stalkers. So we'll see this sort of, well, we'll see this once again. We'll see if this time MaNa can get some damage done with those 2 Adepts. MaNa with the exclamation mark says holster free. Cheering on MaNa here in this series from the chat. As always, guys, do spam the chat. Well, not spam the chat, but let us know in the chat who you're cheering on, who you'd like to see winning this series and moving through the next round. I imagine MaNa is probably going to be the favourite in the chat, or the fan favourite. I imagine Strange. Maybe there's 1 or 2 people cheering for Strange. Is MaNa going to lose that probe? He loses the probe in the middle of the map, and well, this probe has to move away from Strange. He sees the Mothership Core coming across, so he knows to back away. And is MaNa just going to be pulling this Mothership Core down towards the ledge, which he can get away with in case them Stalkers come in and start to chase him. Nexus starts for MaNa, going to be the first player to start Nexus in this game. MaNa actually cancelled the Adepts apparently, and he went straight into the Stalkers instead. So MaNa just changing up his his plan here initially, and now he's going into those Stalkers instead. It's just Stalkers from both, and MaNa going into a couple of sentries after his Nexus. So very standard. People balls back home, and we wait to see what the tech will be from both players. Straight into Robo once again from Strange, and wait to see what it's going to be from MaNa again as well. So straight to Robo from Strange, straight to Robo from MaNa. As both players go into the Robo facility, and we'll be setting up into a nice standard game for the most part, I imagine. Nexus here just building up. And yeah, I mean, again, we've kind of just seen the PvP has played out the last couple of games, and this is going to be very similar. Robos are coming up so that they can make observers initially, and then a couple of immortals. The Twilight Council will probably be the follow-up to go into Blink, and there it is for Strange right now. If both of these players like to play the Charge Shot Immortal Archon playstyle, then there's no reason for them to suddenly start changing things up right now. So we'll see what MaNa's going to do, because he is saving up kind of gas a little bit. There we go, Twilight Council away. Yeah, and just pretty much the same builds, just slightly slower here or there from one player or the other. But no major differences. Again, I mean, both players have the same number of units, apart from MaNa has 1 more Stalker. Both players have the same tech structures, just MaNa's Twilight Council is like 10 seconds behind, so it really is just all the same right now as extra gas is getting taken on the natural expansion, something I'm sure Strange will do here very shortly as well, as he starts up his Blink tech. And MaNa actually goes straight into an Immortal here, so 1 Observer straight to an Immortal. That is something we have seen from MaNa throughout this. He's always seemed to have 1 Immortal advantage for the most part. Of course, sometimes when he's attacking, it's kind of just negated by the fact that Defender's advantage means that Reinforced and Immortal comes in sooner. So MaNa just going to that Immortal a little bit quicker than Strange. And I guess we wait to see when the Forges are going to start, because that's been a fairly interesting thing to see throughout the last 2 games, where MaNa's been very slow in this Forge in game 1, a lot faster in game 2, but still slower than Strange. Phoenix gonna disappear. And Forge on the way up for Strange once again. So again, 3rd game in a row, 3rd PvP. Well, obviously 3rd game though, and he is going to go for the same build once again. So no real, he believes this build is just the way to go. He wants to just play the macro game. He doesn't want to mess around with anything. He's supposed to play this nice stand in MaNa. Well, he's without a Forge just now. He's just spent his money on something, but I can tell you it isn't a Forge. So again, just without a Forge, without that upgrade just yet. And we'll see how late he gets it in comparison. Sweating K in the chat cheering on Strange. I don't know if that's just because I said no one would be cheating on Strange. What's up, Sweat? How you doing today, buddy? As you see, the Stalkers, Immortal, and the Sentries just moving forward is just going to be taking down these rocks. Rocks will fall. There's a little bit of an army from MaNa, not going to be able to get very much done over here at all. Could maybe work his way through the back rocks, which would be... I mean, you could. I mean, in a way, there's nothing to really lose. Taking down your opponent's back rocks only allows you to attack into that position sooner for the most part. I mean, maybe very rarely you'd rather your opponent stay in their third base or so. It kind of depends how you're playing, so... Well, I guess we'll just see him leaving them. He's actually just going to work his way through these rocks at the front, so... Going to work his way through this. His Forge on the way up, but again, much later than the Forge of his opponent. So again, MaNa just always later on this Forge, but triple Immortal here. And it's triple Immortal of his opponent. I mean, Strange just straight up actually has more units, so MaNa just cleaning out and getting out a couple of rocks. And just see Strange looking to see how he might try and take this fight. Rocks going down. Strange just obviously, MaNa just obviously having a fun time here, killing off all of these. And I wonder if we just see something very similar from MaNa as the last game, where he basically just, when his +1 finishes, which is of course later than his opponents, he just attacks, but before his before his opponent's +2 is ready, basically. And as we'll see, Strange dropping. MaNa actually the first player to drop the Templar Archive, so it does look as though MaNa wants to be a bit more aggressive this time around. No warp prism to help him warp in or anything, as hallucinating things. We'll still see the army out in the center, and again, this map control. I mean, it just gives you opportunities, right? You see a chance to blink forwards and pick off a Stalker or something like that. I mean, obviously that's a bit of a weird scenario, but I mean, it does give you a chance to push in. Maybe you get a pylon kill, back away, and maybe push in. You get you just get chances if you're out on the map. Obviously, you leave yourself open to the kind of attacks back at home as well. MaNa's going to try and fight this. Big force fields come down. I mean, the force fields are good, but then he's going to have to go up against force fields of his opponent too. I think MaNa is beginning to realize that this is not ideal, but he can save that Immortal as well. He picks that up. Warp Prism being targeted down, but MaNa not a good trade for him, especially because he doesn't have +1. He's going to start warping in, but that Warp Prism should get targeted down. It does go down, and MaNa's going to lose everything, and Strange is going to clean on out. Strange is going to take this 2 games to 1. And this MaNa being way too aggressive in a position where he has no real advantage. You know, he had nothing to really work with there, unfortunately. And so he has no other choice other than to back away. A couple more sentries get warped in from MaNa, another Stalker will be added on here. There's a couple of Archons a couple of High Templar gonna morph in and become an Archon. And well, a few more Zealot, well, never Zealot, and a few more Stalkers being warped in as well. Stalkers from Strange and the army in general just gonna be trading against that Nexus. Time Warp comes down, he's gonna catch a few of them Stalkers. It doesn't really matter, he just wants to kill the third base here mostly. And then you can think about taking on that army. There's a few of his Stalkers reinforcing to pull up to the top side. Actually, to be fair, that's a way out for Strange as well if he wants to go through these back rocks. He takes down these probes, and well, MaNa is definitely looking to be in a lot of trouble here and getting free in this series. And it's going to be another Team Liquid player knocked down to that losers bracket. The Lucifrons, I mean, all of them apart from Vortex are in there. Vortex going to be playing against Botvinnik. We'll have to check up on that match. Because one of the Liquid players are having the best of times trying to qualify right now. Obviously, Snoot's already qualified for the event. The rest of the Liquid players all jump into that losers bracket. I mean, to be fair, MaNa is only a couple of rounds